Hello, Professor Wood. I'm Praveen Balakrishnan. I'm actually recording this video in California. It was a great course from you. First, I would like to say that, and I learned a lot from the course. Pity I was not there in Chicago to learn the course direct from you, but yeah, I learned a lot from this course. And so to go on with the presentation, and since you have given me just a 10-minute deadline, I'd rather get on with it. So the title that I've taken for the final presentation is Of, By and For the People, in the words of Abraham Lincoln. I take my stance for democratic government, and I'm going to put my arguments with that on my mind. Going on to the next slide. The main objective of the electoral process is to select a candidate who is not only just a regular, who's quality personified. That's what I wrote actually. The individual who is running for a presidential, as a presidential candidate, is chosen by the people, always, and he works for the people, and he's of the people. So, but the main point here is I'd like to criticize, or to say, put forward some of my ideas how to improve the process of presidential elections that are happening in the United States. The project objective is to alter completely some of the steps involved in the electoral process. By this I try to emphasize on the integrity and the transparency, and as always, the time and money of the whole electoral process. Actually, it would be when you see the slides, when you see the slides personally, I guess you get to know what I'm trying to tell. The current process is good at certain stages, and is good actually, but the problem is it's not utilizing the latest technology or the latest development which is happening. We can take advantage of all the latest technology, and if implemented, those are gonna, on the longer run, those are gonna provide a lot of benefits. They're gonna save time, they're gonna save money, and they're gonna provide the transparency to the public in a way so that they don't have to, they'll get a clearer picture of what exactly is happening. I guess if we ask out of 10 people, I guess hardly 4 to 5 people will know the exact process of a presidential election. That's my rating. Anyways, but the proposed changes that I'm planning to make, they cannot be, that's what I will call as a phased implementation. It cannot be done overnight, and it has to go on. It has to get implemented every 4 years. Whenever we have an election, it has to be done. It has to be implemented, and then we go for a trial and correction method, where if we go wrong, we always can correct it back, and by the time we hit say another 20 years, we would have achieved what we have planned now. Okay, my success criteria, as I described earlier, is based on transparency, integrity, the quality of the candidature, and of course, as usual, the time and money. By transparency, yes, you can see from the slide, I mean the people have the right to participate in any stages of the general election. That is, they have the people have the right to question, conjunct at any point of the election. So by which way major political parties or any other major hands, they don't get to have their influence on the elections and get to go on their way. And integrity, the way the elections takes place, nowadays, I don't know about the US, but back home from India, it is corrupted. But I don't know about US, but still, the integrity of the elections can be maintained if we go on for the latest technology, using the latest technology like online polling and online voting and all kinds of stuff. The quality of the presidential candidate is not just based on the current requirements such as the citizenship, the age, and the residence, and his or her residence. But some of the qualities that also must be taken into account is the human ethics, social interactions with the public, and most of all, their view towards racial affinity or racial discrimination, or how they interact with different kinds of people from all the races. And regarding the evaluation of my success criteria, it is rather tough to evaluate now, and the process to measure this continuously will start slowly from now on. So, like I said earlier, down the road, maybe in another 20 years, we'll have a good evaluation of how evaluation of my success criteria. See, for instance, the transparency is achieved by measuring the voting percentage of the people in a particular election. So as the percentage increases, as the percentage of the number of people who increases, it automatically will prove my point of saying that the people are getting to know what's happening, and they are willing to vote, and so on. It may not be such a good evaluation tool, but that's what I came up with. So next is the ASIS process. The ASIS process, I have put up a flowchart, kind of a diagram, and I'd like to explain it to you from there. And then we'll go on for the human and the system presence. Okay, this is the current electoral process that we have in the United States. Candidates from, we have two kinds of categories: candidates from political parties and independent candidates. The campaigning starts a year in advance to raise funds for the elections, and then the candidates from the political parties to represent. He or she has to be nominated by the party as a presidential candidate. This is done by the way of having primaries and caucuses right now. And after that, they have a national conventions, and where the person who is willing to be nominated, he is voted by the party members and the party leaders to be nominated as a candidate for a presidential election. And the nominated candidate, he gets to choose the vice president. He gets to choose the vice president from his party itself. That's so obviously given. But that is the case for the candidates from political parties. Independent candidates, there is a totally different way of signing up for the elections. First thing is they have to sign a declaration.